cites them. So he invented his own abbreviations for the names of the books of hadith. And he mentions, he lists them in the beginning, and then he also mentions them and cites them after each hadith that he mentions. This is not a comprehensive book, rather it's a more concise work. He says, هذا المختصر اللطيف. It's a very subtle and concise work. So it covers all the aspects of the deen, but it does not claiming to include every single hadith on the dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Because that will be very exhausting. So we start inshallah from the first hadith that is mentioned. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم الدعاء هو العبادة ثم تلا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم الآية مصعب مسأ. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, الدعاء هو العبادة. The dua, the supplication, it is the worship. The supplication is in fact the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought an evidence why he was saying this. Even though the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not in need of bringing the Quranic evidence, his word is enough. But yet the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as a reminder, brought the verse of the Quran in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ, and your Lord said to you, أُدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ, call upon me and I will respond to you, I will answer you, right? And the complete ayah is, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمْ دَاخِرِينَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in this verse that call upon me and I will definitely respond to you, I will answer you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ, indeed, as for those who are boastful, they show pride, عن عبادتي, they show pride and kibr and boastfulness from worshipping me. سيدخلون جهنم داخرين, soon they are going to be entered into hellfire. داخرين, they are going to be disgraced therein, right? So this one hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the combination of the verse of the Quran, it teaches us that dua, first of all, is not a minor act of worship. It's not just something that is on the side we do, something that we do without thinking. Rather, this is an actual ibadah. Just like we have 5 daily obligations, we have worship ibadah as part of the month of Ramadan. Fasting, Hajj is an ibadah. Similarly, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also the act of ibadah. Huwa al-ibadah. If you know the Arabic language, al-du'a'u al-ibadatu is a complete sentence on of its own. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is emphasizing al-du'a'u huwa al-ibadah. The supplication, this is the worship. Do not be neglectful and do not take the supplication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lightly. You are in fact performing an act of worship. And for sisters, there are days in which they are not able to perform their salah. And they feel depressed, they feel anxious that because of the purity issues, their monthly cycles, they are not able to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now they feel anxious. But this the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, supplication is the worship. You should have a long list of things that you need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding you, your family, your children, the ummah, right? And this is the time of the prayer. You sit down and make a whole list of dua from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is going to be as part of your worship and servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the rest of this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning those people who think they have everything. I have everything, why do I need to ask God? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing these kind of people who think they are not in need of anything, and they do not worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they do not ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they do not ask and supplicate to God because they think that whatever they have acquired in this life is sufficient for them. They did it on their own accord, by their own effort and hard work, and they are not in need of God. So therefore they don't worship and they don't ask and they don't beg God. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in very stern language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they are going to be entered into hellfire and they are going to be debased, disgraced in it, dakhirin, right? Why? Because, and the word is used, yastakbirun. Istakbara yastakbiru is, they are seeking to be boastful. How can you be boastful in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah is al-Qadir, right? So there's a very subtle message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are nothing. You are absolutely nothing. Allah is Al-Qadir. I'm the creator of everything. And who are you? You are nothing. You're pretending. You're trying to be boastful. You're trying to show that you don't need me. And who are you? You're nothing. And because of this transgression, of this rebelliousness, that even though you are nothing, you're acting in front of your creator as if you are a mustaghni. You are not in need of your creator. Therefore, dakhirin. You are going to be sent into the hellfire, debased. May Allah protect us from this kind of attitude in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never take lightly the dua, the impact of dua. Sometimes, and the attitude of the ummah and the Muslims is, we can't do anything. So at least we can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like dua is at the bottom. Dua is the first thing. We start with the dua. Everything else comes after. All the asbab and all the means that we acquire in our life to solve our problems that are secondary. The primary is the dua. First we make dua, oh Allah, I'm starting my business and this and that. Make it beneficial for me. And then, oh, I'm pursuing this person for marriage. If this is good for me, then make it happen. Like, oh Allah, I'm trying to prepare for my exam. Make it happen, then you start working hard. So dua needs to be first, everything else needs to be second. We right now take dua all the way at the bottom of the list, everything else comes first. So we need to turn this around, inshallah ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.